Hey guys, Christine here of sidestreetdesign. I'm super excited to have some time this month to sit down with you and start the Side Street Studio monthly challenge. I'm going to go ahead today and work on the January prompt challenge. For this month, the main prompts were to work on a canvas, add background texture, use a jelly plate, gray, and add squares. The alternate prompts, if you wanted to use them, swap them out with some of the others or include them, or make your piece using only 3 colors and use a Tim Holtz word chip. So with the first one of work on a canvas, when I first wrote up these prompts, in my mind I was thinking I have a lot of old 6x6, 8x8 canvases I need to use up. I also have some plywood canvas boards, but then I remembered in my Dina Wakley journals there's also canvas fabric. So just to show you guys, even though I use the word work on a canvas, it doesn't have to be like a canvas stapled on something. It could be canvas fabric, a canvas board, a piece of MDO, anything like that that acts as a canvas for you. So that's the first one here. I have this canvas from this is the large Dina Wakley mixed media journal. And what I did before coming on camera to help save a little time is I went ahead and I gessoed the canvas with clear gesso. This is by Winsor & Newton. So I just used a clear gesso so that my paint would grip. And then I went ahead and number 2 was to add background texture and number 5 was to add squares. So that got me thinking. I have a stencil I created. That's this guy here, and I love using this one. I'm eventually going to put it on my Etsy shop as a digital download for those of you who have a silhouette or a Cricut. You can go ahead and cut your own stencil. But I decided I wanted to use this for my squares. So I went ahead and I just laid it down, and I took some of my Winsor & Newton modeling paste, which kind of looks like the matte gel packaging, except it just says Flex Modeling Paste. So I took some of that paste and I took a spatula and I just wiped it through the stencil. I did that about 2 hours ago, so when I started the video this would be mostly dry so I could work on it with you guys. It's a little damp in a few spots. So already I have my work on a canvas, add squares, and add background texture done. So the next thing I want to do is I want to start adding a little bit of color. So what I want to do for that is, I'm trying to think here, I want to try to make my piece using only 3 colors. So I know I need to use a gray, and I have the Dina Wakley Elephant Gray out. And I also love Eggplant and Peacock by Dina Wakley. So what I also grabbed, so I have multiple materials, is I have her second set of Scribble sticks, and I'm going to go ahead and grab out the elephant, that eggplant, and I think the peacock was the teal. So those are going to be my main colors, and then my accents will be in black. And I'm just going to go ahead and start working on some background here. I'm going to go ahead and switch and use the paint because these aren't totally dry and I'm a little concerned that I'm going to lose my texture. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure you guys can still see this. I'm going to put a little of the peacock on here. I'm going to wet it because I want this to be runny. Grab one of my paint brushes. Get that nice and wet. And just kind of start running it on here and getting some color on the background. I want this to look really runny, so I'm making sure I get it good and wet. And then I'm just going to catch it down at the bottom before it gets on my table. I'm going to do some of that here. And I'm not always good about leaving white space, so I'm going to try in this piece to not necessarily fill up everything, which is going to be hard for me, but we will see what happens. There we go. So again, this is the prompt to make my piece using only 3 colors. Do some fun splattering. Just trying to get some color on there. Here we go. And I do love the teal. Just to get a base going, get rid of some of that white. And again, the modeling paste is not fully dry, so I'm trying to also be gentle because it is picking it up a little bit. And now I'm going to run it this way. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this dry, guys, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, that's about as dry as I'm going to be able to get it for now. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in my jelly plate. I have the set of 3 jelly plates that came out last year at Creativation from Diane and Dina, where you got the circle, you got a small rectangle, and then there's a big rectangle. And I love using this circle with my watercolors. Excuse me, scribble sticks. So, pardon me. Okay, so now I need to get some of that gray and some of that purple on my piece. And I need to be careful because this corner, I noticed when I was drawing, is still very tacky. Some of the thicker pieces, modeling paste, I may have needed to let that dry overnight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, and what I'm doing is I'm dipping the end of my stick in the water. And this is the elephant gray, so I'm bringing in my jelly plate and my gray element now. And I just want to add some smudge circles. They end up looking like giant polka dots. Even make little designs. A little on this corner, gently. There we go. So now I'm working on a canvas. I've got background texture. I've used a jelly plate, gray, and squares. I've already completed my 5 main prompts. I do have a word chip from Tim Holtz. I am going to do both alternates. So now I did that, and I want to get some of the purple in here as well. I forgot my baby wipes. So let me do something a little, maybe some stripes with the purple. Just to bring a little bit of that in. There we go. So now I've used my jelly plate. I'm thinking I want a little bit more of the purple in here somehow. So I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit of splatter. There we go. So you can use the paint or you can use the sticks. I'm getting it all over me. But it bothered me that that corner is so blank. There we go. Spread a little over here, a little there. I'm gonna grab my baby wipes. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back. Sorry for jumping up a few times. If you've been following over on my little vlog area, my studio is currently half in boxes because I'm busy reworking it, so I'm working in my dining room. So I don't have all my stuff in its normal spot. So let me just get this wiped up. And I'm feeling like the gray is supposed to be more dominant because it's one of the main prompts and you don't see it enough. So I think I want to do a little bit of gray splatter as well. I'm going to use the paint for that though. I think it'll work a little better with the elephant paint. Get my splatter brush out here. Get that nice and good and mixed. There we go. Some nice big drops. And I'm still trying to leave some white areas like I promised myself, but we'll see what happens because, you know, it's me. Okay. Now, I'm going to let that dry for a minute or two. I'm going to move it aside. And I want to think about the main focal image, what I want that to be. I have two quotes I'm trying to work between. And they are, see possibility everywhere or creativity takes courage. And I'm feeling like leaning towards the creativity takes courage. And I have some of the Dina Wakley stamp sets. And I feel like I want to use one of the girls and a couple of her other ones and kind of build a little background. I have a bag I keep of scrap watercolor paper, so I figured this would be a good time to use up some of my bits. Grab out a few pieces that might be the right size. There we go. So first I need to pick my girl, and then this way it gives your canvas a minute or two to dry while you pick out your items for your focal image. And I like her, this one here. I'm gonna use this gal. I just need my Archival ink and my stamp block. I apologize for the light, guys. This would probably be when my stamping platform would come in real handy to use, but that's okay. Get her inked up really well. And then perfect. And I don't want perfect edges on this, so I don't need my scissors. I want it torn out. There's our girl. And then I like some of the script. So let's see. I got this for Christmas from my husband, so I'm really excited to be able to use it. Let's see. I think I want this one, definitely. I think this will fit up here. Perfect. And let's see, I think I like this one. Yeah, we'll do this one too, just in case. Whoop. And I like how the ink almost looks like it's a little runny on this paper. It's not super black. It gives it a neat look. Okay, so that's that for the archival ink for now. I'm gonna get these torn around. And then we're gonna just color them in, just give them a hint of color so that they go with the page. And now, normally, I would use my matte gel medium to attach these. But with the page being canvas, it's staying very soft and wet. I'm afraid everything will smear. So I think I'm going to use my glossy accents to attach these on instead. You just got to be adaptable with what you're working with. If you guys do this as you're doing it and you want to like let it dry overnight, then you can add more gel medium. So that is going to be our focal point. Now the cool thing about these are they kind of are the same color as, I'm sorry, they're the same size almost as the jelly plate. So you can actually do that and let it run to add some cool color. So I'm just trying to tie in some of the blue, the purple. Ooh. There we go. And then because we have the blue in the background too and the gray, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of the blue and some polka dots. And just tap that into it as well. And then I'm going to splatter some gray on it. Or actually, let me swap my water here. Do this. It's coming to me as I go, guys. It's coming to me as I go. I'm going to use the gray as like an edging accent. So I'll let that dry a minute. Wipe some of this off. Get some of that gray going around here to give it a little depth. Okay, Now those need to dry. And with her, I'm just gonna do a slight hint of the gray. The gray was our dominant color, so this one's going to have more gray. And I think I may bring a little bit of those splatters in on these guys, and I want to protect this because I really like how this is coming out. And again, guys, I apologize for the glaring light. When my studio's all set, won't have that hopefully as much anymore. Okay, those guys dry. And now I do want to take a little bit of a fine detail brush. If I have one handy. I want to take a little bit of the blue. Just get a little hint in the eyes of blue. Like that. And then with the purple, we'll just get a little hint of maybe some purple lips. And if I can mix it with the gray a little, I'm going to soften it down and get a little bit of a gentle blush for the cheek. Just a hint. And then use a little bit of that dark purple again. Maybe give her a little bit of a funky purple eyeshadow. There we go. Take a little of the a little purple splatter on here as well. Not too much. And outline with the gray again. And I think this scrap paper is watercolor paper. Okay, I'm gonna get all these dry and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I am back and our page is now 3 colors, but I do want to add some black accenting. I consider that a shade, not a color. So what I'm going to do, I want to make sure I get this all in frame for you, is I have that other stamp from this set with this texture here. I want to go ahead and get some of that in here. I'm gonna tidy up my mess out of the way a little bit so I have some working room. There we go. Okay. And this should be interesting because the canvas is still kind of wet and some of the modeling paste is still kind of flexible. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. Oh, not bad. I think that that's going to help add just a little extra of what it needed. Put one in here. And I like odd numbers. Maybe some down here. There we go. Just a little bit of black. And one thing you will find when you're using the canvas in the media journal is that when you gesso it and work on it, it does start to shrink. Okay, so going back through the prompts real quick, we have worked on a canvas, added background texture, used a jelly plate, used gray, added squares. I've used only 3 colors and black is the accent, and I will be using a Tim Holtz word chip. Now, let's see how we want to lay out our main image. Just like that. And then I need my quote chip, which is going to go across like that. So now I need my glossy accents to get this all glued down. So that was there. Then we had her. Now, was this under or over? I can't remember. I think this was under. And then I'm going to put some of my glossy accents on here. And I do have a Stabilo pencil that I'm going to wet and just give a little bit of shadow with. A Stabilo is an all-in-one pencil. It's like a charcoal pencil and it lets you accent things. It works on all different materials, but it's nice because when you wet it, it acts like charcoal. And it blends really cool like this to give just a little bit of an accent. A little bit of shadow where it's needed. Alright guys, I think that's it. I am pretty happy with this page. We went through and used all 7 of the prompts. I like the mix and that I was able to leave some white space. I feel like all it's missing is glitter or metallic because if you watch my videos you know I love sparkle and glitter, but that's okay. So I give you guys my first journal piece of 2019, January 2019 prompt. I hope you enjoyed following along. I hope this gave you some inspiration. I hope you guys are going to go ahead and give this a try. I'd love to see what you do and see it posted in the Facebook group. I'll be sure to link below to the Facebook group. And thanks so much for following, guys. If you liked the video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. You'll stay up to date on all my latest releases, and I'll see you this time again next month for the next challenge.